Welcome to my channel. I'm here to make you think. I'm here to enlighten you and show you things that I peep. But before I do that, can you please like, comment, and subscribe to my channel? And be sure to ring that post notification bell so that you can receive a notification the moment I drop a video. And I thank you in advance. Welcome back, YouTube. Today I'm going to be talking about Puff Daddy. Now recently I seen Puff Daddy trying to act like he was a conscious brother. Trying to act like he's down for the people. I've never seen him be that way, and it doesn't even sound right coming from him. Now Puff Daddy is an industry, mogul, hip-hop mogul, for being a producer. He brought about Biggie, Toto, Carl Thomas, Day 26, and other groups, but whatever, that's neither here nor there, because what this video is about, showing you Puffy for who he really is, you can see him and, what he about. You'll see the fake smiles and all that dancing, that's not who he really is. That's not who he is at all. It's just way more sinister. The thing about Puffy, you'll see him and you'll see him around, certain individuals, right? And then next thing you know, you don't see them individuals anymore. I'm telling you, it's like something always happened. And then the people end up not around him anymore. In fact, they're not around anymore, period. It's not just about it not being around him. These people are gone. They're no longer with us. You know what I'm saying? Because in my eyes, Puffy is a soul reaper. Okay? Now you can take that for what it's worth, but that's what I'm going to call him, a soul reaper. Okay? Because anybody that he brings into the industry, or people close to him, even close family members, mother of his children, like they just, something always bad happening to people around him. And everybody looking at him like, ooh, I love Puffy, he got Ciroc, he got this and that. No. And the stuff that you're going to see him talk about, shortly, it's going to trip you out because, watch, you've never heard Puffy talk like this. I've never heard him talk like this. So what are you really trying to do, Puffy? What's your real agenda right here? Check this out right here.
A lot of you don't know about this because it's been hidden. All the shit is fake. Everything's been hidden. Everything that you know is a lie. But I want to hit you with something that you can't run from. Just like we can't run from 9/11, we can't run from the Holocaust. Y'all ain't gonna run from this shit. Because 100 years ago, yesterday, there was this thriving black community that was independent. We wasn't messing with nobody. Slavery was over, and we were just trying to make a way for ourselves, our own independence, after being enslaved for 400 years. So they made Tulsa a state. So then you have one side of the tracks, you have white ex-slave owners, and then the other side of the tracks you have these black people that are independent entrepreneur, free thinkers that are getting together and deciding not to wait on help to come. It was a black Wakanda. This was the greatest black economic accomplishment ever. Let me tell you what these folks did. These folks were so jealous, they figured out a way to get a plane and drop bombs on us. Kerosene bombs on the top of our town, our roofs, our banks. Then they went and drug our brothers and our fathers and our sisters, and they raped our mothers, and they killed our children. And they did it, and then they tried to erase it. We're not going to let that shit be erased. And we're not going to let the story end like this. So this message is to everybody that's just tired of waiting for somebody to come save us that's not going to come save us. Okay? And it's time for us to fight back. It's time for us to unify. Don't you know all we got to do is stick together? This ain't going to take years. It takes integrity and rules and things that we're going to do. And the only thing I'm asking is we start and we make sure that we stand on the shoulders of our ancestors and we come up with the solutions.
Now that right there is exactly what I was talking about when it comes to Puffy. Okay, Puffy has been around for a long time. Since like the early 90s and stuff. So this right here is like BS. If this how you felt, you would have felt and said this a long time ago. You would have been spoke this. You have a voice. When it was time for voting back in 2000 and, 2008 or whatever, when Obama was running for presidency, he was out there holding a full campaign talking about vote or die, vote or die. He never said anything about black people standing up together black people owning their own anything. He never discussed or mentioned Tulsa, Oklahoma, none of it. It's like he's doing this now for some reason. And it reminds me of Ellen. When the lockdown first came out, Ellen came out speaking weird, you know what I'm saying, talking outside with cards in her hand, just strange. Now what he's doing right now is speaking facts. Don't misunderstand me. He's speaking facts. But this is not Puffy. When it's coming from him, it's something else. There's an agenda behind it. Now, you can go look up Tulsa, Oklahoma and Black Wall Street yourself from someone who does not have an agenda behind it. Yes, Tulsa, Oklahoma was a thriving Black Wall Street. We had our own banks. We had our own clubs. We had our own everything. We took care of our own stuff, our own people. We had our own spots where we did not allow whites to come in because that's how they've been doing us. This is during the Jim Crow time. So black people were thriving, and yes, we were prosperous, and yes, what he's saying is true. But stop talking about getting together and all that type of stuff. You could say that, but that's not how you feel. Like, practice what you preach, Puffy. You know what I'm saying? This guy has, like I said, to me, he's a curse. Being around him or being a friend, you know what I'm saying, of his, an associate, you know what I'm saying, being an artist of his, you know what I'm saying, like, just period. Being around him is not good for your health from what I see. I've seen so many different people around him lose their life under suspicious, you know what I'm saying, ways. Every time these celebrity deaths or people that celebrities know, every time these people pass away, it's always something under suspicion. And there's been a lot of people that have passed away, you know what I'm saying, around Puffy. Like back in the day, like when he first came out, we're going to start there. He was like 22 years old. Him and Heavy D had hosted an event, right? It was a charity basketball event back in 1991 in Harlem. You know what I'm saying? It was Diddy and Heavy D. They had put it together. And they had a lot of headliners, you know what I'm saying, on the board that was going to show up to the spot. So a lot of people wanted to be there. And it ended up being more people that can fill the capacity. So people were getting trampled on. And you know, sadly, 8 people were trampled and crushed to death at the event. And that's unfortunate, but it's just a part of the curse that it seems to, you know what I'm saying, be around him if you're close to him or even know him. You know what I'm saying? That's why any young person, do not get in this industry. Do it on your own accord. Be your own boss. Don't be working all hard for nobody else to make their money. You do it for yourself and make your own money. That's a real boss. Period. You know what I'm saying? And that's just all it is to that. But there are a lot of things that are alleged, you know what I'm saying, with Puffy. You know what I'm saying? He's an alleged closeted homosexual. I've heard Puff Daddy make references to make me wonder, you know what I'm saying, and think that maybe he's not straight. You know what I'm saying? And I don't have anything against gay people. I'm just saying he's closeted, and I feel like if this is how you are, you should come out and just be who you are instead of pretending. You know what I'm saying? Period. And it's like he's dangerous. You know what I'm saying? He's like controlling. You know, it was alleged that he was controlling to his ex-wife or girlfriend, whatever, Cassie. You know what I'm saying? Like, he didn't physically abuse her, but it was said that he was very controlling and try to control her look. You know what I'm saying? Where she went and, you know, try to keep tabs on her. You know what I'm saying? Even when they weren't together. Same thing as Kim Porter, the same thing. It was alleged that, you know, when they were dating, even when they were split up, that he was always trying to keep tabs. He needed to know where she was every second. Like he was her father other than her husband. That's what I'm saying. Like, you don't hear talking about we need to stick together. Since when have you felt like sticking together? I've never heard you talk about sticking together. You said vote or die. Bringing in Obama, who did nothing for us. You know what I'm saying that. You know what I'm saying, around the voting time because he knows he has a voice. Now, if you have a voice like this, you need to use it wisely. Stop trying to come on here speaking like this is how you are. You need to start practicing what you preach. Talking about they just, you know, they were just prosperous. They didn't want to be bothered. You know, we need to stick together and have our own stuff so we don't be looking for handouts. But Puffy, allegedly you make so much money, you could be handing out stuff. Why don't you have your own bank? Why not? It doesn't make any sense. And then also, you talking about standing together and sticking together as black people. Why are you allegedly beefing with 50 Cent? And then offering to take him shopping. You know what I'm saying? 50 Cent said that was suspicious. This is all alleged, but this is what 50 Cent has said. I'm just saying, once again, you know what I'm saying, Puffy is always up to something. He's funny. You know what I'm saying? I've seen him say suspicious things, suspect things about Rick Ross. You know what I'm saying, licking his lips and stuff like that. I'm just saying, this dude is a whole clown because he's fake. He's not being who he really is, you know, period. And this right here is Quincy, I'll be sure's son. But Puffy took it upon himself to call him his son. This is really his stepson because this is the son of his ex-wife who passed away, Kim Porter. This is her biological son. But this is Al B. Sure's biological son. But as you can see, Puffy likes to go out and try to be live and think he all that. And I think he was just trying to claim something that wasn't his, period. I feel like he's trying to do this because Quincy's father, Albie Shore, is an R&B singer from the 1980s, okay? And this is Albie Shore right here. Albie Shore has not been singing like he used to back in the day, but he does host a radio station now. And so I think that because of that, Puffy tried to act like he stepped in and be the big man, like that's his son, but it's really not your son. I just feel like he just tried to take him like that's the son that he always wanted. Also, Puffy had gotten in a fight with J. Cole. Now this was years ago, but it still was an alleged altercation between them two. So stop trying to preach, stick together, and this and that like this is you when you have been in situations that you shouldn't have been in if you're supposed to be so professional. And you know, Biggie Smalls came out in Biggie came out with like 94 or something like that. And yeah, he lost his life in LA. And this was a close friend of Puffy, you know what I'm saying? Puffy had put him on. We had met Biggie when, you know what I'm saying, Puffy came when he brought him out. And you know, they were close. But once again, like I said, if you be around Diddy, it's almost like you're going to be cursed. You know what I'm saying? Because he is like, he's in the game. And he's a soul reaper. I believe he collects people's souls, allegedly. And Kim Porter, this was his ex-wife. This is the mother of his 2 twin daughters, okay? She passed away under a suspicious situation, circumstances, you know what I'm saying? It's always something weird. She was like, went to the hospital, she was coughing, and next thing you know, she had pneumonia and she was dead. I mean, from what I heard, it's alleged that she had some information on Puffy about some homosexual act between him and another R&B singer. It's alleged, but allegedly she was going to talk about it in her tell-all book, and before she got a chance to do that, she was gone. So you could take that for what it's worth, you know what I'm saying? I'm not saying he did anything to her, I'm just saying she may had some info, some scoop on Puffy that he did not want the world to know, and hey, he let her have it. Who knows, maybe, I don't know. Alleged. Now this is Black Rob. Black Rob also was somebody that Puffy brought out, I believe. And he also has spoken to Puffy right before he passed away. You know, dealt with Puffy in some type of way. And that's how it is with Puffy. You know what I'm saying? This man died right after DMX did. He was in the hospital. And somehow he had spoken to Puffy about who knows what. And the next thing you know, he was gone. I'm not saying Puffy is a killer. I'm just saying, like, I think that he's a soul reaper and collects souls. And people got to stop looking at him like he's some type of, you know, person to be admired. Like going back to Albie Shore and his son, I don't like how he try to act like this is his son. It's almost like he wished that he had a son that looked like this, so he's like, you know, this is my son. I don't know how that make Albie Shore feel, but uncool, period. Now, I know Black Rob signed up, you know what I'm saying, for the situation. You know, when they sign that dotted line, you know what I'm saying, whatever else comes with that, so be it. But I'm just saying, this is somebody else who got caught up with Puffy. You know what I mean? Puffy is bad for your health. Stay away from that man. That man is not to be trusted. And I feel like this. If you cared also, Puffy, if you care so much about the black community and us being prosperous and being able to do this and that, why was your clothes so expensive? Them Sean John jeans was like 100 or more, 150 or better. And don't think that people was not fighting and killing people over those jeans. That's what I'm saying. This fake woke junk, it gotta stop. You don't even mean what you're saying. Your life does not reflect that. You know what I'm saying? You're not about black people standing up and unifying at all. You're about being arrogant, taking over people's son, thinking you live, thinking you the best there is. I remember when Suge Knight had made that joke. Well, not joke, but he was up to one of those award shows, and he was saying, you know, I ain't gonna be like everybody. You know, people always want to be in the videos, dancing, and he was like, "Come to Death Row." That was an infamous speech he did, and he was talking about Puffy. He didn't have to say no name. Because, you know, whoever Puffy, you know, whoever he produces or whatever, he always in the video dancing with his ad-libs, you know what I'm saying, looking goofy. Because to me, Puffy can't really dance. He always jumping around, kicking his feet, flapping his arms, you know what I'm saying, in some kind of way. And that's basically all it is to it. This is my advice to you. Don't fall for this with Puffy, alright? Because he's fake woke. Anyway, thank y'all for watching so much. I appreciate y'all. Thank you for my new subscribers. Thank you for rocking with me. Make sure y'all hit that like button, comment down below, share this video, and hit the subscribe button if you have not, because you are missing out if you do not. And make sure you hit that bell. Also, make sure y'all check out my last video about Bill Cosby. This is about him basically tricking me, and I was simply defending him, thinking he didn't do this, but he did do this. Check out my video, y'all. Peace. Happy Hump Day.